Everyone that has played more than a handful of rounds of golf has heard the phrase drive for show, putt for dough, which illustrates that putting is the most crucial aspect of the game. Almost every golfer understands that the easiest way to take a few strokes off their score is by becoming a master on the green. And the statistics back this up, telling us that 44% of golf shots take place on the green. So figuring out ways to turn your 2 or 3 putts into 1 or 2 putts is the easiest way to lower your oh so important handicap. But that's harder to do than it sounds like.
In comes SureStroke. But what really is SureStroke? SureStroke is two separate sensors that are going to help analyze critical components of the user's putting stroke. SureStroke comes with two separate attachable sensors that can easily attach to different parts of the putter. What SureStroke does is give users simultaneous feedback via Bluetooth to tell you what corrections you can make that will help you lower the amount of putts you take, lowering their overall golf scores. It measures three different components of a putting stroke that affect both your accuracy and power. The two main things golfers need to become a consistent putter, and I will explain those three components on the next slide. The first sensor attaches to the face of the putter and is going to measure club impact, which is how accurately users are hitting the so-called sweet spot of the club. This sweet spot is the most firm part of the club, and hitting it will help users become more accurate and in control of their distance if they can hit it more consistently or preferably every time. The first sensor also helps measure putt pace, which is how well the putter is keeping their stroke in a rhythm. Many times golfers do not keep the same rhythm throughout their swing and end up shortening their stroke or elongating, which messes up their distance. SureStroke makes sure that golfers are not speeding up or slowing down throughout their stroke to make sure they are hitting the putt they wanted to hit. Sensor 2 measures the user's putt path, which is the angle users are taking back and through the ball. SureStroke will help you make sure that users are going straight back and straight forward, meaning you will not be spraying your putts around, so to speak. If users can stop going inside out or outside in on balls, they will be able to trust their putts will go where they want them to and will worry less about aiming cautiously. I know what you're asking yourself. Who would actually want to spend their money on this? Golfing is not a cheap hobby, and finding ways to improve your score are far in between, as well as expensive. There are currently 29 million classified golfers in the United States with an average household income of $95,000, and when you compare that to the US median income of roughly $60,000, you will start to see golfers have disposable incomes. Would they rather spend their money on expensive software programs that only show results and not advice on how to fix those results? On the other hand, would they rather pay $100 for 45 minutes of a pro's time? SureStroke only would cost $100 overall to create and would retail for $150, a reasonable price to drop a few strokes off your game. SureStroke would be sold in sports retail stores like Dick's Sporting Goods and pro shops such as Maryville's Mozingo, where golfers would have the most access to the product as well as a knowledgeable customer support staff. After looking at different aspects of cost for starting up SureStroke, we have estimated for 2 years of operations we would require $765,000. I would ask from you $1 million in return for a 50% ownership stake as my partner. This is a smart investment for you because there is a large target market with potentially both short-term and long-term returns being impressive. Although I think SureStroke's valuation should be higher, I understand the need for a knowledgeable business partner as yourself and would want to gain your trust. SureStroke would also give you a chance to leave a lasting impression on today's youth and current golfers. With your expertise in golf and helping with public relations and my help running the business side, what can go wrong? With SureStroke, I am in it for the long haul because I believe in the feasibility, the value, and the problem the product solves. Even though I say that, I cannot tell what the future holds, and if a reputable sports performance company wants to take over SureStroke for the right price, I would have to consider, but only after seeking your advice and input on the matter. SureStrokes has the potential to be an equalizer in product for those golfers that have not had the opportunity or means to improve their games through private coaching, lessons, or simulators. Your impact on the game of golf goes way beyond the game and the championships that you have earned. Unfortunately, those things will eventually only be read about in sports history books that only the most curious golfers will find interest in. Leaving behind a way for golfers coming from lower socioeconomic conditions and to help today's recreational golfers is a way to permanently leave a long and lasting impact on the game.